Good morning students. Welcome to the biology class of 6. In the previous class, we discussed about various nutrients present in the food along with water and roughage and learnt about their importance in the body. Dear students, today we are going to discuss on balanced diet. Open the page 22. Balanced diet. Before we discuss further, let us understand the meaning of the term diet. The food which we eat during the whole day is called our diet. Understand? For example, the food which we take in the breakfast, in the lunch, in the dinner makes our diet. Understand? In other words, we can also say, in simple words, that the food and drink that is regularly consumed by an individual is called a diet. Okay. A diet consists of many food items made from cereals like wheat and rice, pulses, fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, eggs and milk, etc., which supply all the nutrients to the body. Now, what is a balanced diet? The diet which contains adequate amounts of all the nutrients such as carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals sufficient for the normal growth and development of the body is called a balanced diet. Understand? Means a diet which contains all the components of the food in right proportion. Okay, right proportion means whatever required for our body. In that proportion, if the components of food is present in our diet, then such a diet is called a balanced diet. Understand? A balanced diet also contains sufficient amount of water and roughage. As we know that no single food items can provide us all the essential nutrients in adequate amounts, isn't it? For example, rice and other cereals, they are rich in carbohydrates, so they cannot provide us protein. In the same way, chicken and fish, they are rich in proteins. They cannot provide us vitamins and minerals. So, in order to make a balanced diet, we should include a number of different food items in our daily meals, which taken together provide us all the nutrients in adequate amounts. Understand? In order to make the thing clear, let us look at the 5 groups of food given in the book. We have to include food items from each group to make our diet a balanced diet. For example, like cereals, wheat and rice preparations, potatoes, sugar, etc. to provide carbohydrates. Then we should take butter, ghee and oil to provide fats. Then pulses, peas, milk, cheese, fish, meat, chicken and eggs, etc. to provide proteins. Okay. Likewise, vegetables and fruits should be included in our diet to provide vitamins, minerals and roughage. And of course, water should always be is also required in right proportion. Understand? So, if we include food items from each group which is given in the book, as shown in the book, then our diet will become a balanced diet. Understand, children? Okay. Dear students, one very important thing you should know that the balanced diet is not the same for all age groups or occupations. Understand? A balanced diet depends on the age of the person and also on the occupation of the person, that is, type of work done by the person. This will be clear when we will discuss 2 instances or examples. Number 1, dependence of diet on age. A child and a grown-up man are of different age, isn't it? So, the balanced diet of a child is different from that of a grown-up man. Why? Because a growing child needs more proteins in his diet than a grown-up man. in comparison to his body weight, of course, isn't it? This extra protein is needed to make the body tissues of the fast growing child. Understand, children? So, the diet of a growing child should contain more of protein rich foods than the diet of a grown up man. Understand? We know that protein is a body building food, isn't it? So, as the child is growing, so more tissues are being formed in the body, more cells are being made in the body, isn't it? For that, more proteins are required. Whereas a grown up man, he is already a grown up man. Now he will not grow in height anymore. So he does not require that much amount of protein as the growing child requires. Understand? A growing child also needs more minerals like calcium and phosphorus for the formation of bones than a grown up man. Understand, children? The reason is same. Okay. Now let us discuss one more example, then this concept will be clear. Dependence of diet on occupation. The job or profession of a person is known as his occupation. Understand what is occupation? Okay. Different jobs involve different amount of work. The balanced diet depends on the amount of work we do in our occupation. So, the balanced diet of a man doing hard physical work is different from another man doing normal work. For example, a man doing hard physical work like a laborer or carpenter needs more carbohydrates in his diet than another man doing normal work. Why? This is because he needs more energy for doing hard physical work. Then this extra energy is supplied by including more of carbohydrate rich foods in his diet. Understand? So, the people who do too much of physical work, in their diet, the amount of energy giving food should be more. That is, more of carbohydrate rich food should be included in their diet. Okay. So dear students, you must have understood what is balanced diet and how it differs from person to person. Moreover, in a balanced diet, we should not give any place for junk food because this leads to a disease called obesity. Obesity means motapa. Understand, children? Balanced diet is very important to keep our mind and body healthy. Understand, children? It keeps us away from many kinds of diseases and provides us energy, and above all, it improves our brain function and give us very good sleep. Understand, children? Dear students, by now you have learned that essential nutrients are present in different food materials, and to make our diet a balanced diet, we should include adequate amount of all the nutrients in our diet. Most food materials we consume after cooking, isn't it? And some we consume in raw form like fruits and some vegetables like onion, tomato, cucumber, etc. Before cooking, the raw food materials are washed, peeled, cut and then cooked to make them fit for eating. Dear students, let me tell you what are pre-cooking and cooking practices. The practices which are followed before cooking are called pre-cooking practices like washing, peeling and cutting of the food materials. And practices which are followed during cooking are called cooking practices like boiling, steaming, frying, roasting, baking, etc. Understand? But when we follow the pre-cooking and cooking practices, then knowingly or unknowingly, most of the nutrients present in food materials are lost. This will become more clear from the following discussion. The various wasteful pre-cooking practices which lead to the loss of nutrients are: number 1, repeated washing of rice and pulses. Number 2, washing of fruits and vegetables after they have been peeled and cut, and taking off thick peels from fruits and vegetables. Understand? Now, let us discuss in detail how each pre-cooking practice leads to the loss of nutrients. Washing of food materials before eating raw or cooking is useful because it removes dust, harmful germs and chemicals etc. sticking to their surface. But repeated washing of food materials is harmful because it leads to the loss of nutrients. For example, repeated washing of rice and pulses removes the water-soluble vitamins and some minerals from them and hence lowers their nutritive value. Understand? Okay. Now, come to the next wasteful pre-cooking practice, that is washing of fruits and vegetables after they have been peeled and cut off. What happens when we do that? This lowers their nutritive value. If we wash fruits and vegetables after peeling and cutting, then what will happen? Their nutritive value will be lowered. To avoid the loss of vitamins and minerals, the fruits and vegetables should be first washed and then peeled and cut. Understand? Because repeated washing removes the water soluble vitamins and some minerals from them. Understand? Then, taking off thick peels from fruits and vegetables also loses the or lowers the nutritive value. How? Most fruits and vegetables skin contains vitamins and minerals. In some homes, thick peels are taken off from the fruits and vegetables, which leads to the loss of vitamins and minerals. If the peeling of fruits and vegetables has to be done, the peels removed should be as thin as possible to prevent the major loss of vitamins and minerals. Understand? If peeling is required, peeling should be done very thin. Understand? Very thin layer of the peel should be removed from the fruits or vegetables. Okay. So if we avoid this wasteful pre-cooking practices, we can prevent the loss of nutrients from the fruits, vegetables and cereals or whatever which is washed. Understand? Now what is the benefit of cooking? Cooking improves the taste of food and also makes it easier to digest. But at the same time, sometimes faulty cooking method may also lead to the loss of nutrients, like cooking the food at high temperature and throwing away water in which food is first boiled. Understand, children? How the nutrients are lost? Vitamin C gets destroyed easily by heating during cooking. Understand? So when food is cooked at a high temperature, as is done in the process of boiling, steaming, roasting, baking or frying, then the excessive heat destroys a major portion of vitamin C. Understand? And vitamin C is a very essential nutrient. It keeps our teeth and gums healthy. Isn't it, children? So, we should therefore include some fresh fruits and vegetables as salad in our food to get the required vitamin C. Because some foods are necessary to be cooked, and if vitamin C is present, that will be destroyed. So, in order to compensate that, we should include some fresh and raw vegetables and eat and consume them in the form of fruit salad or simple salad. And if excess water is used in boiling process, then what happened? That extra water will be thrown away. Then some of the proteins and considerable amount of minerals present in the food are lost. This should also be avoided. When food is being boiled, only the required amount of water should be used for boiling. And whatever left out water is there, children, that should be used in other cooking process, like in making of curry, in soup, etc. Understand, children? Okay. So if we follow the right pre-cooking and cooking practices, then we will be able to prevent the loss of nutrients from the food. Understand, children? Okay, so here we conclude the topic balanced diet. Dear students, hope now onwards you will be aware of your diet which you take and try to make it a healthy diet, that is balanced diet. Okay, children? Thank you.